But for now, I'm curious because you had used, that was like your, now I have found some of your old journals. So I know that you've done some journaling before, but, would you say that this was like the first time that it was so impactful and meaningful?
I think it was the first time where it was like I needed to do it. Like I had no other way to turn. And that's what I kind of struggle with now, which is what I was going to bring up. Like, I don't think I've journaled in a long time that deeply. I'm in a much better place now. And I have been for a while. And I think something I do struggle with is now that I'm like, I don't have a reason to, have something wrong.
Yeah.
Like.
So your brain is like, I'm good. I don't need to journal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in that time, it was so natural to like journal. But now it's like, well, I don't have anything wrong and my life is actually really good. So like, what is there to journal about? Like, that's at the place I'm at now. Yeah.
And I love this because I kind of equate journaling to me is like a little bit of a way that, well, and for everybody, I think, depending on how you do it, it's a little bit of a way of self-coaching. Like you can go see a therapist, you can go get a coach, and that gives you whatever, some level of awareness. For me, journaling is a way that you can do that for yourself. You can bring awareness to your life for yourself. And I totally agree that most of my life, my journaling, because I've been writing since I was young. Like my mom has found so many notebooks from when I was young, and I would just pour my heart out in these journals. I started writing poetry, like really bad poetry when I was in high school. And actually I would give away, because we were so poor, that if I wanted to give someone a gift back then, I would write poetry. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I wrote a piece of poetry to one of my high school teachers that had a big impact on me. And I remember when my book came out, she's like, oh my gosh, I still have the poem that you wrote me when you were 16. Could I share it on the internet? I'm like, please don't.
Oh my gosh. I think we need to see some of these poems.
Yeah. If I've ever written you poetry, please keep it to yourself. But so I often used writing as a way to process hard things. But what I have found over the last few years, because I'm like you, I feel like I'm in such a good place. I love my life so much. So my journaling now feels more like dreaming.
Yeah.
It feels like dream journaling, like that I'm just writing to my future self about what I want to come to pass. I know last year at this time, last year on this very day, do you remember where we were? 1 year ago today.
Where were we 1 year ago today?
Emily May.
Were we in?
We were snowmobiling.
Oh my God.
In Yellowstone.
That was kind of scary.
Yeah, it was scary, but it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Actually, that was January 3rd. The next day we flew home. And I remember on that flight home, I did like pages and pages and pages of dream journaling about 2023. It's one of my favorite things to do is to journal in an airplane. And it's like something about the elevation and the perspective. Like I look back at what I journaled. I journaled like 7 straight pages, and so much of what I wrote then came true in 2023.
Yeah. It does make so much sense that if you don't write something down, then the odds of it happening are like a lot slimmer than if you have like really dreamed about it.
Yeah.
It just, I think I struggle to make the time to sit down and write and dream.
Yes.
I do think the prompts that you have are really helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry, got distracted. We can get that out. But I think having prompts have been really helpful for me lately to at least like have a start, and then you realize that like more things come out even when you are in a good place. Like as you start writing, then you're like, oh wait, I didn't even know I
thought that.
Yes.
I wrote things down last year and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that's something that I really wanted. And I think sometimes, especially, it's probably different from your age, but a lot of women that get to be my age, they say like, I don't even know what I want anymore. I don't know what my dreams are. And I'm like, oh, you need to spend some time with yourself because God gives you those dreams. Those dreams are from him. And when we come alive to our dreams, I feel like it benefits everybody in our life. So I feel like spending time with myself to ask myself, like, what do I really want this year to be about? And I know even in setting goals for the year, like people get so hung up on what is the goal. Well, I mean, we're sitting in a room right now where, if you're watching this on YouTube, shout out, by the way, Johnny Cash right behind us, but we're sitting in a room that this was my desire to create a room like this. I call it the honky tonk room. It doesn't really look like, it's kind of like an upscale honky tonk.
Yeah.
But like that came from me writing, like, okay, here's what I want. I want to create a room in my house where we can sing and line dance that feels joyful, that feels, you know, and so even something as simple as redecorating a room in your house can come from that. It doesn't have to be serious, like life goals.
Yeah, like it can be fun things.
Just fun
too.
things. Yeah.